Good morning and welcome to Coffee Chat with David and Kylie Knight.
Hey everybody, so good to see you. It is great morning. It is Friday, September the 18th, 2020. We're here for another coffee chat.
Yes, and you may notice there's a change.
There
We got
is.
ourselves a new little set.
Look at
Right?
this.
Yeah. So pretty excited about that. We'll talk about that in a moment. But hey, while you're here, be sure to like and share. There you go.
Yeah, we've already got Josh joining us this morning.
Hello,
Hello
sir.
night. Yes, thank you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Hope you had a good weekend.
Right.
Hope you had a week.
Because it's been a
It
week.
has been a week. It's been a whole long week. but
Yeah.
it's been a good week. So you want to chat, I guess, quickly? I don't know why my little device is not wanting to work today. Go
It
figure.
isn't?
No, it's just all sort of sluggish today.
Ah.
It said, I don't feel like working today. So, but that's all good. That's what. Hey, Toddy Bear, good to see you, my friend.
Hey.
Welcome. Always a pleasure. Hopefully you had a
Indeed.
great week and weekend.
Yeah.
So we've been relatively busy. Obviously, we did this. It was exciting. We did it for a couple of reasons. One, as most of you know, we've been using a green screen, and it's been good. We've enjoyed it, but we needed something that showed more of our own personality.
Yeah,
And
we did.
so our pastor came through with some supplies that we could use from him, and then we bought some boards, and Kylie sanded them, and
Yeah, I did.
I installed them. So hey,
Got
look
a
at that.
sander and
Shelves.
going for it on all the shelves, and then David put it all together, drilled the holes.
Some people don't
Teamwork.
think I'm handy. I can be pretty handy.
I know you can.
Yeah, I know you know I can, but
You're very good.
other people see the hair and they just think, oh, he's just a pretty boy. Toddy Bear's asking if I've got any guacamole left. No,
No,
that went very fast.
that does not last
Does
around
not
this household.
But I'm glad you guys liked the video of the.
It was a very
the
good
guacamole.
guac.
It was a good guac.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll give it a shot. So
Yeah, you got the recipe now, so you too can have this at your house.
that's right. And Josh says it looks fantastic and so professional.
Thanks, Josh.
That's what we're going for. At least the illusion of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, should we just get to it then with our amazing guest today?
I think we should, because our amazing guest is amazing, and
Yes.
we are so grateful that he's here. And we certainly don't want to take up too much of his time because he's been so kind with that.
Right.
So we've known this guy for a while. Met him at Conclave. I think again is another one of those places where we've met a ton of people,
Wow.
a ton of amazing
Wow.
people.
Yeah.
He's going to talk about some awesome stuff today. So we hope you guys will welcome and enjoy our good friend and now yours, Mr. Grant Byrd.
Woohoo!
And the button. Yeah, there's the button.
Yes.
Works. Yes. Awesome. Hello, sir.
Well, hey, how are y'all?
Good. How about
morning.
yourself?
I'm doing really good today. Thank you so much for letting me be on.
Oh, man, we appreciate you coming on. You know, we talked to our mutual friend Jane Wilson a couple months back, I guess now.
Yes.
And she suggested that we bring you on. I was like, why didn't I not think of that? That's a
I
perfect idea.
know. What took us so long?
Jane is awesome. She's got so much wisdom and helps in so many ways. She's great.
Yeah, she's a total rock star. Jared Greer's on.
Yes.
He calls you the man, the myth, the legend.
All very true.
I totally agree.
Especially with that beard and that shirt you're wearing.
And the pennant in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
I didn't even notice the pennant before.
Oh, nice. Looking good, my friend. Looking good.
I'm feeling lax. We have.
We got a mug over here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I save my shirts for game days, so yeah.
Well, hey,
There you
let's jump right into it.
Yes.
You want to start off?
Sure. Let's start with your testimony. So tell us, how did you come to know Jesus?
Okay. Well, my parents were kind of active in church, pretty active in church, and when me and my older brother, he's about 3.5 years older than me, when we were pretty young, they said, man, we need to get our kids in church, and so we started going a lot. And I just went to church, but when I was a small child, I realized that even though I knew about God, I knew about Jesus, that I didn't know him personally, and I realized I was going to spend eternity in hell. And boy, our pastor had come in view of a call, and the Sunday he came in view of a call, I went forward to give my heart to Christ. And so that began a great relationship. He was one of the first guys that I served under as a youth pastor. He was there at my church for 13 years. I'm still in touch with him. He's just a great brother.
Nice.
Tony Anthony is his name. He was a great guy, and it just really he helped to disciple me. I had a youth minister named Buddy Fortenberry that really impacted my life, and he was only with me for a couple of years as 7th and 8th grader, but man, it was he really helped to kind of put me on the right path, even though I was a what's the kind word, rambunctious child. He put me on the right path and just helped me to see how God could work in my life. And so I kind of felt called to ministry like at 15, but didn't really understand what that meant. Talked to a few people about it. They kind of tried to help me, and but I kind of fought it for a while. I went off to A&M, Texas A&M, and I loved that, but it was it wasn't where God wanted me to be, and I transferred to East Texas Baptist and started studying ministry at that point. Man, it was great. It was a great school, and God allowed me the chance to know that youth ministry was what He wanted me to do, and so I'm still doing it.
I love that. Well, and I love that you're still connected to kind of your first mentor, the first I think that's amazing.
It is.
And I think that's certainly one of the hallmarks of somebody who is doing it right.
Absolutely.
So kudos
Investing
to you.
in those relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and kind of speaking of that, next year you're going to have been in youth ministry for 40 years. First of all, congratulations on that.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Woo! Everybody give
him
some
some
love.
thumbs up and hearts on that. Secondly, why do you think you've had such longevity while others have burnt out? What is the secret of your success?
Yeah, we all want to know.
Oh, well, I don't think there's any secret in when people ask me, how do you stay so long? Because I've been at this church 29 years this week. I'm starting my 30th year this week.
Congrats.
Will ask me how, and I say, well, I don't really know. I can't do anything else, honestly. Really what God has designed me for is this, I think. Now, He may change His mind and move me somewhere else. But I think the biggest thing is that being content, I believe, is content. Now, at the same time, I feel super blessed because of what He's done for me and allowed me to see. But I'm content with, not with status quo, but I'm content where I'm at. And I love being here at this church. I feel like it's a gift to be at this church. Now, not every year is. Sometimes it's a real struggle, but boy, it's most times it's just been great. And as far as youth ministry goes, I believe part of that is I never think I've got it figured out. I'm always trying to learn and grow because I don't. I mean, anybody that thinks they do will be out of it soon, I know. But I learned constantly. I have two youth ministers on staff with me, and boy, they help me a ton because it's just been a long time since I was a kid. Now, I will say this: I've never been out of youth ministry, because I started when I was really young, 18, 19 years old. I was doing youth ministry, and so I've never gotten out of it. I've just continued on, and so I've always had kind of a thought toward teens and working with teens, and just I really try to read a lot about them and study stuff about them, and I don't try to be like them, but I am, as some would say, childish.
Right.
That's, I don't know that that's a good thing. I think that's part of it, is that I love working with teenagers. I think they're moldable. Like you could put me in front of a big group of teenagers, I'd be good. But if you put me in front of a small group of adults, I hate it. I'm scared to death. So I'm just kind of geared that way.
Yeah.
I think they want to learn. Teenagers want to know what's going on, whereas adults think they know, and we know that they don't, because we don't. So,
Wow.
I think that's part of it. Does that kind of answer it, you think?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think so. I love that you kind of recognize that that's how you're made.
Definitely created for that.
Absolutely. Josh Kohler says your longevity is amazing, which it truly is. And I would, although I would say that I've seen you in front of a small group of adults, and you were amazing. Now you were teaching them about youth ministry, and they were enthralled in what you had to say.
Maybe that's why.
But it was
it's his topic.
It is his topic, and I'm telling you guys, it's amazing to watch him pour into those adults, and having seen some of the stuff you do with your team, the way you're pouring into the people who are coming up behind you, it really is amazing. So thank you for all of that.
Yeah. So you definitely.
Thanks a lot, David. Thank you. I'm okay talking to adults that love teenagers. So I guess that's the difference. I feel like they're my people.
Yeah.
Your people. That's right. So it's very evident that you have a heart and passion for missions. So what is it that draws you to that, and what have been some of the most incredible things you have seen on the mission field?
Well, I just think missions is one of those things that it's kind of a crucible. It really, really impacts my students. And when I've gotten a chance to take kids, when kids go on a mission trip, it just seems like it jumps them forward in their spiritual growth because they're so dependent. We've always been. I went very early on mission trips with organizations. Now this is not a cut on organizations, but for me, it was really not really what we wanted to do with our kids and where our students were. They have an organization can't plan for just your group. They have to plan for everybody that might be going.
Right.
And so we just determined early on that we better do things specifically for our kids. And so we started doing mission trips with churches in different areas. And we do mostly the ones that impact our kids, which sounds a little bit weird, but international impacts our kids more than anything because they're out of their comfort zone completely. And when they get there, I just see them, they have to jump in. We train them a lot beforehand, and then when they get there, we work with individual churches. And I've seen those individual churches get really excited because our kids are excited, and my kids are excited because they see God doing things through them. I just think they have to share their faith when they're on the mission trip. They have to serve others. They can't have their all their little wants met. Like we usually sleep on pads or sleeping bags, or and most of the time, most of the countries we go to are lower income countries where they're we don't have air conditioning. It's as far as parents always ask me, is it safe? And I'm going, well, I'm going to try my best to keep them safe, but I can't promise you that they're safe. I said, I'll watch them more than you will, because if they're home at spring break and you're at work, I guarantee you're not watching them. So I'm going to be watching them, or somebody is, but I can't keep them safe. And but we're gonna do everything we can to make it safe. But I think that mission trips are the thing that really just jumpstart our kids, and I see them come back and want to do more and want to serve more and want to see things happen. One of the cool things that you said about things we've seen is we used to serve in, we started a long time ago now working in Mexico in a place called Pachuca. That was one of our very first trips, but we really joined in with some churches there, and they caught the vision, or they saw what that youth could work. And it wasn't, youth weren't just keeping the babies or fixing the chairs or doing whatever. And so they got so excited about that they wanted to do it also. So they asked us, would you come back with us next year? And I said, I don't believe, after we prayed about it a little bit, I don't believe that we're supposed to come back to Pachuca, but why don't we go to a city that's somewhere nearby and go and serve there? And so they went with us, and we served in Morelia, which was, I mean, it's probably 6 or 7 hours away from Pachuca.
Oh, wow.
But they brought a group with us, and so we served together it was a small group that they brought, but at least they had the idea. And then in Morelia, boy, that was a college kind of town, and they caught on. And then we went to Guerrero, or outside of Acapulco. I hate saying that because people think we went to the beach. We saw the beach, but we were just
Right.
close to it. You know? And so we served with the people of Morelia, Pachuca, in Guerrero, and then the next year, I just felt like God was telling us to do something else. So we went to Germany and tried to start the same thing, and kind of did. But in Mexico, they went another place with those three areas and went and continued on with this youth crusade kind of plan. I was just amazing. God just really did some neat stuff. Did we plan that? Heck no. Most of the good things you don't plan.
Right.
And that's what we saw happening there. And we've seen that kind of happen in other places where the youth ministries are excited because they see kids actually doing things, and so they give them a little bit of authority, I guess, or responsibility, and it really just goes most of the time it goes really well when churches open that up for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I guess that's it. I just love missions. I really do, because of what I see God doing now.
Yeah.
I think when you're, especially the overseas missions, like you said, it's taking them out of their comfortable environment, and it makes them really more reliant on God and their leaders, the adults. They're given opportunities to do things they haven't done before and realize, hey, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So it builds their confidence. And it just, it getting them into a different culture, I think, is really, really good, and seeing how other people live. There's just so much good that comes from those mission trips. I love it too. I want to go again.
Josh Kohler says the 2 mission trips I went on in high school helped shape and direct the ministry path I'm on today, no doubt.
Yeah.
So thank you for leading your students that way, and for following God's direction in figuring out where you're supposed to go. I think that's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, so I read in an article recently that you were concerned that your kids would dislike church because of how much time they had to spend there. However, both of your children have gone into ministry. So what is the secret sauce that you and your wife have used to help them grow as people and in their faith?
Well, I'd say right now it's not secret sauce, and I they're still not done. I'm always still nervous about them, but but we were. Before we had kids, I was so concerned because I'd seen so many ministers' kids and families struggle, and I just said, man, I thought that was kind of what was the norm, and I was very nervous about it. Me and my wife really prayed about it, and we always wanted to have kids, but we knew we were going to wait, so we waited 7 years till we had kids, and but that was just always in the back of my mind, just that concern that my kids would dislike church. And so I think part of it is that I never talked bad about what was going on at church at home. I mean, we wanted them to like church. And so if I came home and my pastor was being a butt, I didn't talk about my pastor being a butt. I never did. I always would say, man, I love brother whoever it was at that time. And but we don't want to talk about it. I would tell my wife some, and honestly, I didn't tell my wife all the dirt because I want her to enjoy just being in church. But I would tell her enough that she would pray with me, but I wouldn't want to tell her everything that would make her feel, because it may be just more my issue than anything. But I think with our kids, we just really want them to enjoy it, and so. We were up here a lot, but at the same time, I wanted them to have a good time when they were here. As far as youth ministry was concerned, we didn't let them participate in the youth stuff. Like, they went to a lot of things. I have pictures with both my kids when they were like less than a year old at camp and less than a year old at Super Summer and stuff. But they were just there for a day or two. And my wife would come, and we'd either stay in a hotel that was near or something like that, so that I could at least be with them, so I wouldn't be gone for that much. Because we have an active summer, so I wanted to be around them as much as I could. Eat meals with them and stuff like that. But they couldn't participate in any of the stuff. They couldn't, like if we had a scavenger hunt, you're not participating in scavenger.
Right.
You can watch, but you're not. That's not you. That's not for now. And then when they got to be, our sixth graders start youth group. So when they were in fifth grade, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't come to any of our activities.
Wow.
Because I wanted them to be excited about coming and not dread it.
Nice.
So I'd be so old that that's the same old thing, and I've done that.
Right.
So we would try. We had some plans in that way, but I think with one thing too, David and Kylie, I think the biggest deal that I can say is that we prayed like crazy for them. And I mean, I kind of get emotional thinking about it, but we really did. I did not want my kids to dislike God because of something stupid I did, because it's not God's fault. So I wanted them to fall in love with God. And my son is a music minister just 20 minutes up the road, which is just wonderful. He's married and working in a church, and now he's a music minister, and I kid a lot of times, I don't know if that's really ministry, but it is some type of ministry. And then my daughter is still in college. She's at Washington, and she's trying to figure out what God wants. I have a feeling that she's going to be in some village in Africa, but I'm not sure about that. I keep trying to work with my wife about that because we're a little nervous about how that's going to feel, but we're just going to play it by ear. But she loves to be over there. She served last summer and was going this summer to be in Africa, but wasn't able to because of stupid COVID.
Right.
Yes.
But I don't know that it's anything secret about it. I know you were just saying that, but the biggest deal is that we tried to keep church to be a place where they would enjoy. I wanted them always to have great small group leaders. I wanted them to have the best that I could figure out as far as leaders at mission trips and things like that. And I think God was just good to us, and God allowed us to have kids that were not real rebellious, and that makes a difference too. And so I'm real grateful for the kids we have, but I don't think it's what me and Jill did. I think it's what God has given us. I really do.
I love that.
I mean, it could be a little bit that. I think just the conscious, even if it's unconscious awareness that you're not wanting them to dislike church, and making intentional actions to make sure that doesn't happen, like keeping them separate before they got there, so they would have that excitement and wouldn't be burned out before it even happened. I had similar thing. My mom especially was a leader growing up with us, but she didn't really jump ahead. But she got there with my brother, and my brother's 2 years older. And so he started with my mom doing the youth group, and I got to see some of it. So it does make a difference. So I definitely applaud you and your bride for doing that.
Absolutely.
It's really good.
And Josh Kohler says, it's a struggle my wife and I work on a lot with our children. They've seen a lot, unfortunately, the bad, but also the good. There's a lot of truth here. So I'm telling you guys, Grant is a font of wisdom. So I don't know if he wants to do a ton of conferences, but if you're looking to teach some youth ministers, get him to your conference, because he's amazing. He's amazing.
He knows all.
Or at least most.
No way.
All right.
So we're talking about your amazing shirt. So now we've got to talk Cowboys. What is your prediction for the Dallas Cowboys season this year?
Oh, I'm very high on the Cowboys. The problem is I'm very high on the Cowboys every year.
Yes.
I can see
True
the glass not half full. I see it rising, every season. And it's always a hard fall for the last 20 plus years. It's been a hard fall. But this year I see good things happening. I think we're going to be good.
Yeah.
I think we'll win the division for sure.
Okay.
And I think that I think we've got it. I think as we continue to grow throughout this year, it's going to be good. I think McCarthy's a great coach.
Yeah.
What about y'all?
Yeah, so far so good. I'm impressed. Like we mentioned before we went live, a little concerned about the injuries at the moment. It's hard to tell. I'm a little concerned that's going to be another 8-8 season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm certainly hoping not. Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah.
It's not optimistic.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I want to be optimistic. I know, if we're not rooting for them, who is? So,
Yeah.
there's enough people against them.
That's true.
I would love to see them win the division.
Yeah.
And certainly, a Super Bowl run would be nice. So
yeah, it would.
That
Woohoo!
would be great.
let's see. Russell Anderson says our first foster child not through the system came out of our first youth ministry. Oh, that's very cool.
Wow. Very cool.
And Josh Kohler says, "Go Bears."
He just had to put that in.
He promised he wasn't going to say anything.
Is that a college team?
Not a college team.
I've never heard of them.
I think their record's better than ours right now, though. So,
No,
all right.
wouldn't be hard.
Yeah, that's true. So we've had some good, strong answers to some deep questions, and we want to switch things up a little bit and do our lightning round, some fun questions with a section that we call 5 questions. And it didn't go. Hang on.
Cue the graphics.
Cue the graphics. That's right. There are graphics. Where'd they go? Oh, man. Yeah, there they are. Hang on. That was a lot of work for that. Okay. And we've moved. All right. So, let's see here. What are you binge watching right now?
Right now, me and my wife are watching The Mentalist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a show that was on some show thing before. We love it. It's kind of a thinking show. We try to figure out who did it before it's over. But yeah, I like that show.
And do you usually do it? Figure it out?
What's that? Oh, figure it out? No, usually not.
No.
If you pick the most random guy, you'll probably win. But,
Exactly.
Cool. Guy in the orange shirt that you saw that one time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could have any other job than the one you have right now, I know this is tough, what would it be?
Well, realistically, probably the only other thing that I could do is woodworking. But if you said if I could do anything else, then I'd play professional football. I mean, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. But that went out the window. I think when I was 9, I think that changed that professional football dream. But woodworking is something I love doing, and I think it's in ministry you never get done. I always say that I'm never finished. I've got 50-year-old kids in my youth group that have grown up that I still am concerned about and praying for.
Wow.
But with a project in wood, I'm finished.
Man, I should have called them when we did these shelves.
I know. Don't look too closely at it. I did what I could.
All right. So, what is your what is your favorite to-go order?
Oh, I'm sure it's just Chick-fil-A #1. Just chicken sandwich and fries and a drink. Yeah, that's pepper for sure.
That's a good one, though. I love that.
I love their waffle fries.
Oh my goodness! Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, can take off that pickle though. All right, so what are you reading right now?
I'm reading I just started. Bob Goff has a new book called Dream Big.
Yes.
I was reading. I just started, but I mean, I had just began. But I really, he just brings so much joy when I read him, and it makes me think a lot. So I like him.
He's really good.
He is fantastic.
Love Bob.
Big fans. And he's always so friendly. Like, I mean, that just it's crazy. Like how much energy he has.
It's contagious.
It really is.
His smile, his joy that he has.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they decide to make a movie of your life. Who plays you?
We talked about this. My wife was. I said a couple of people, and my wife kind of laughed at me when I said them. which is never good. But I tell you the one that I want to play because I think I just want to hang out with him is Jimmy Fallon. We have nothing really in common except we both act stupid. But I think he's a guy that you'd want to hang out with. He's just so fun. So I would hope that he would be somebody that I would have do that.
I like that answer.
That's a great answer.
That's a great answer.
Fantastic. It's happening. It's happening.
Oh, well, Grant, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of this. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, and it's always a joy to see you, and we're honored that you took a few moments out of your day to hang out with us, talk to our folks.
Yeah. So once again,
thank you so much. I enjoy it.
Good. Well, hopefully we will.
I'm sorry, I talked over you. What did you say?
Oh, no. We're just saying thank you, and hopefully we'll get the chance to catch up and talk to you again soon.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I love what you're doing. I just think this is fun, and y'all are a blessing every time I see you. You have such smiles on your faces, and I just appreciate you.
Back at you. All right. Well, you have a great day. We'll talk soon.
Bye, Grant.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Let's see. And everything is going wrong on my... There we go. All right. So that was Grant. I told you he was fantastic. So much fun. Such a joy. Next week, we have somebody else who's going to make you laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. Comedian, funny man, Bob Smiley will be here next Friday on Coffee Chat.
Yeah. So be sure to tune in because I'm sure we usually have enough laughs just between the two of us. So he's going to bring way more funny than we ever could.
I know. You guys think my little joke that I said last week was funny, my Mary and Martha joke, but
I liked it.
Yeah. No, this is going to be far beyond that. He's incredible.
He is. So, it just decided not, just nothing is working today.
Fun. Okay.
All right, gang. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we hope you have a wonderful day.
Have a great week.
Great weekend. Go Cowboys.
Yes.
Or whatever team you're rooting for, I guess.
Sports. Oh, the Stars.
Oh, the Stars.
How did we
not talk about the Stars?
And now in the
Stanley Cup
Finals.
That's right.
That starts, is it tonight or this weekend?
This
it's this weekend.
Yeah. The Dallas
Stars.
Dallas.
Stars.
Dallas.
Stars.
There we go. Josh Kohler says Mary and Martha can't be beat.
No.
They are quite a team. I'll give you that.
They're a good team.
All right, gang. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you next time on Coffee Chat.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.